Hey guys, I'm Maggie and this is Yoga for Artists. Today I have an evening practice, and I'm not referring to evening as in the time of day, but evening as in cultivating some balance in the body. Today I do have a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can just use a thick book, just something that's going to give you a little bit of extra height here. And then I also have a sketchbook. So if you don't specifically have a sketchbook, a wide book, or a tablet, or really anything that is too wide for you to grip around the edges of your with your fingers will work. So if you need to go grab a couple of things, go ahead and we will get started. We're just going to go ahead and begin in a nice cross-legged position. Take a moment to make sure that the spine can be nice and long. Then we're going to drop our left hand towards the ground. Let the right fingertips extend up and over. Good. Lift yourself up and go to the other side. Good. Bring yourself all the way up. Switch the cross of your legs. And then again to the right. Lifting up and to the left. Actually, that's backwards. I don't know my left and right today. It's fine. Good. Bring yourself up through the middle. Switch the cross of your legs again. Sit up nice and tall, and then twist towards your left. Good. Try to keep finding length in the spine as you twist. So each inhale invites a little bit more length. Each exhale, maybe a little bit more depth. Good. Go ahead and unwind, making your way over to the other side. Again, find that lift and lengthen through the spine. And then see if you can't find a little bit of depth. Good. Bring yourself through center. Switch the cross of your legs. Lengthen up and to the left. Good. Release and to the right. Good. Switch the cross of your legs as you come through center. Lengthen and lift up. And then fold forward to wherever you can today. Let the sit bones keep sinking back towards the floor behind you. Let the crown of the head lengthen forward. Good. Go ahead and bring yourself all the way up. Nice long spine. Switch the cross of your legs. Lengthening up and folding forward. It's important to notice which way we tend to cross our legs, which way we tend to lean when we sit. And throughout our life, just try to create balance. If we're constantly depending on one side, we're going to start to, develop some problems. Good. Go ahead and lift yourself all the way up. And then we will come over and we will meet in a tabletop position. And you're going to go ahead and grab onto either your yoga block or your book, whatever you have. And you're going to place it right underneath where your left hand can be. And so you might be thinking, this is supposed to be for making things even. Why are we making it uneven? And it's just to kind of get to know the body a little bit better. So press the tops of the feet into the floor, press into both hands. You're going to send the tailbone towards the sky, let the belly drop, let the chest open forward and gently look up, finding that cow pose. Then you're going to tuck the tailbone under, drawing the belly button to the spine, rounding the head and chest forward. And then following the breath, inhaling as you open into that cow pose. And exhaling as you round through into that cat pose. And as you do these articulations in the spine here, notice how this feels. Good. Notice if it feels a little different than your typical cat-cow. Good. Do one more cow or cat pose here. Find that neutral spine, and then we will switch sides. So bringing that block or book underneath the right hand now. Really press into both hands, and then again, we'll create that movement in the spine here. So letting the tailbone spill forward, gently looking up, and then tucking the tailbone under as we round everything. Good, and then notice how this feels different from the other side. Is one side a little bit easier? Do you have a little bit more sensation in one side or the other? Good. And know that when you do this, you can do this with a little bit less height here. If you want a thinner book, you can start with that and then gradually increase the height. Good. Just trying to challenge the body in different ways. Good. Find that neutral spine once more. And then we're going to take that block and place it underneath our left knee. Good. And now this might feel very awkward. It does for me. And again, find that cat-cow. Inhaling, opening through the front body. Exhaling, tucking and rounding. And notice how this feels. It very likely feels a little strange. If we get our body used to moving just in one way, it becomes harder to notice imbalance in the body. We get used to it. We think that everything is nice and straight until one day our shoulder starts to hurt. We're like, why does my shoulder hurt? Or our hip or our back. Good. Round through that cat pose one more time. Find the neutral spine. And then we'll switch sides. Bringing that block underneath that knee. And now this, as we start to move into that cow pose and into that cat pose, we really start to notice that our sides are not the same. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Since we're coming to our mat and practicing this, we're getting to know our body little bit by little bit. And the more we practice, the more things will begin to change. Keep breathing through it, using that inhale to bring yourself forward into that cow pose, and that exhale to round up into that cat pose. Good. Do one more, opening across the front body, and then round across the back body. Good. Find that neutral spine. Set your block off to the side, and then we will go through a normal cat-cow. So as you inhale, find that cow pose opening across the front body. Exhale, tug and round everything. And now, as you move through this, really see how you feel. Let that movement start right at the tailbone and ripple its way up the spine. Good. And notice how much less awkward this feels. Good. Round all the way up. Send the hips back towards the heels. And relax down into your child's pose. Roll out the wrists a little bit here if you need to. Come up, sitting back on the heels. Just take a moment to flip the hands over and stretch across the top of the wrist now. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and grab our sketchbook. And we're going to come back into a tabletop position. Now it's not required, but if you can kind of bring yourself up against a wall, do. It's just gonna help prevent you from cheating a little bit here. So knees right underneath hips, wrists right underneath shoulders here. We're gonna take that left hand and we're gonna balance that sketchbook or whatever it is that you have here on that left hand. And then we're going to extend that left hand out in front of us. Press into everything that's connected to the ground here. Good. And then slowly open that arm out to the side. Good. So if you have a wall next to you, it's going to keep you from leaning over to the right to try and compensate your balance here. You're going to have to actually use those core muscles to hold you up. Bring it back forward. Flip it around underneath the body, so thread it underneath and through and send it back behind you. We chose a sketchbook here because you can't use your fingers to hold on to it. You actually have to balance it on your hand. And then open it out to the side this way. Good. If you have a little shake, a little bit of fatigue going, that's good. Bring it around. Take it under the body. Extend it out in front once more. One more time, we'll take it out to the side. Good. Spiral it under and around. Extend it back behind you. Open it out to the side one more time. Spiral it under, around. Extend it out and drop it down. Good. Sit back on your heels. Roll out your wrists if you need to. Give yourself a good shake before we move over to the other side. So since I'm going against the wall here, I'm going to just flip around. I'm going to glue that left hip to the wall, left shoulder to the wall, knees underneath hips, wrists underneath shoulders. Taking that sketchbook now into that right hand. Squeeze into those belly muscles. Trying to stay nice and even here and extending that arm out in front. And then opening it out to the side. Good. Hold for a bit. Extend it out in front. Spiral it around and take it out behind you. And out to the side. Now you can make this harder by using something heavier than a sketchbook. That would be a bit of a progression. Maybe next time you do the video, bring it all the way around and under. Extend it out in front. Good. And out to the side. We're also kind of moving in our shoulder here in a lot of different directions and using a lot of the muscles that tend to get neglected when we're sitting at our desk. Extend it out in front, spiral it underneath, out and behind. Good. Out to the side. Good. Spiral it back underneath. Try not to drop it out in front and drop it down. Sit back on your heels. Give your wrists a little bit of a shake here. Good. And then setting that book off to the side, go ahead and come down to your child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here. Let the shoulders just relax for a moment. Good. You're going to lift yourself part way up. You're going to take the left hand and you're going to thread it underneath your right arm here. So not like your typical thread the needle where your butt is way up in the air and you're spiraling the chest open. You want to keep your booty down on your heels here. You're going to drop that shoulder straight down on the floor and then you're going to try and drop that right shoulder right down over on top of it. So it's more like a child's pose with a bit of a thread the needle variation here. And you can relax the head right down. Bring yourself up. Extend that left arm out and then thread the right one underneath. Drop it down. Good. Bring yourself back through center. Pet your cat as he walks by, and then sink down into child's pose. Good. Go ahead and slowly roll yourself all the way up. Good. You're going to come up onto your knees and just take your mat quick and just fold it over a little bit here. Or if you're not on a mat, take a towel or a blanket or something just for a little bit of extra cushion underneath those knees. So with the right knee bent and on the floor, you're going to step that left foot forward, and you want the ankle just right underneath the knee. We're not going into like a deep lunge here. We're going to keep it nice, 2 90-degree angles as much as you can. You're going to grip into that front foot and imagine that you're going to pull yourself forward like you could crinkle this mat up underneath you, but don't. So you're actually actively pulling. Think about sending this right hip forward as you draw the left hip back, and then think about tucking your tailbone underneath. And what you're looking for is a bit of a nice stretch and pull across this front hip flexor, across this right hip flexor and quad. So really actively pull with that front foot, tuck the tailbone under. This is very active, it's not passive. Go ahead and interlace your fingers. Turn the palms out, press them out in front. Keep tucking that tailbone under, round the upper back forward. Look down, dropping the head. And breathe. Good. Gently release the fingers. You're going to take that right hand down inside the left foot and extend the left hand up towards the ceiling. Nice little twist here. Good. Drop that top hand down. You're going to step that left foot back. Step the right foot forward. Bring yourself up and find that same pull of that front foot. Tuck the tailbone. Try and draw the left hip, left and right. Oh my gosh. Right hip back, left hip forward. Good. Try and find that nice stretch across the front of the leg there. And then interlace your hands quick. And then interlace them the opposite way. It'll feel a little bit awkward. And then press the palms out in front of you. Tuck that tailbone, round the head and shoulders forward. Good. Really press those palms away. Good. Gently release the fingers. Left hand drops down. Right arm extends up. Hi, Luffy. Good. Bring that hand down. Step that foot back. And then sink your weight back, stretching across the toes just for a moment. Good. Then walk your hands all the way back. Maybe you come to a bit of a squat here. The squat doesn't work for you, that's fine, but we're just going to make our way all the way up to standing here. We're going to carve a line with the nose, look up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to tuck the chin in and start to, one vertebra at a time, roll ourselves all the way down. And once you get to the bottom, you can admire all the beautiful cat hair on your mat. Thanks, Luffy. All right. And then slowly roll yourself all the way back up. I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing here. You're going to lengthen up through your spine. Your feet can be maybe hips width. You're going to take that right ear towards that right shoulder and then keep going. Imagine your spine is just going to rotate all the way down. The knees can bend here a little bit. Maybe that hand will even reach towards the floor. Maybe not today. That's fine. And then slowly articulate through the spine all the way back up. Good. Lengthen up. And then left ear to left shoulder, making your way all the way down. Stretching across that other side. Maybe fingertips come towards the floor, maybe not. And then bring yourself all the way back up. Good. Again, the nose goes up towards the ceiling. And then the chin tucks in and we roll ourselves all the way down, one vertebra at a time. Good. Once you reach the bottom, you can grab onto opposite elbows and just find a nice loose ragdoll here. Let the neck be loose. Good. Drop the hands down, bend into the knees. Make your way all the way down towards a seat. Good. Go ahead and bring your hands to your shoulders. Start to make big circles with the elbows, maybe kissing the elbows together in the center here. And then reverse. Good. And then just keeping the elbows where they are, just start to quickly, I don't want to run into my door behind me. Start to just quickly twist from side to side. I'm not worrying about form here, but just create some nice swift movement. And then the next time you go towards the right, lean into that twist. Take a moment to find that lengthening up again, and then twist a little deeper. Go ahead and release. Bring those hands back to those shoulders. Circle them out as you switch the cross of your legs. And then again, get that swift twisting from side to side going here. Might feel a little strange. Try to breathe fully through this. And then go over towards the other side. Lengthen up with the inhale. Exhale, twist. And I think I messed up my left and right again. It's funny, on the balancing, evening outside, I can't tell the difference between right and left. That's fun. Good. And then gently release. Lengthen up, hinge forward from that hip crease, and fold forward. Let yourself relax all the way down. Bring yourself up. Switch the cross of your legs. Lengthen and hinge, fold forward. Good. Bring yourself all the way back up. Go ahead and turn on your mat. Lower yourself all the way down, knees bent. And start to just find a little bit of a pelvic tilt here. So lightly pressing and pulling into the feet. Just feel the pelvis kind of rock a little bit on the floor here. And get kind of acquainted with this feeling. Snuggle your shoulder blades underneath your body here. Take the hands down by your sides, palms facing into the earth. Bring your feet nice and close to your hips. And then find that little bit of pelvic tilt where the tailbone is tucking under. And as slowly as you can, even if you know where I'm going right now, don't go there quite yet. Go as slowly as you can, curling and scooping that tailbone up. And very, very slowly, one vertebra at a time, curling that spine up, pressing the hips up towards the ceiling. Once you kind of reach the top here, what I want you to do is snuggle the shoulder blades underneath, interlace the fingers underneath, and see if you can't press that chest up even higher. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Good. And then flatten the shoulder blades out. And just as slowly as we came up, see if you can't spread the shoulder blades and then drop down one vertebra at a time. Try not to let your knees knock in or splay wide during this either. Good. As you reach the bottom, let the hips slowly flatten out. Maybe even tilt them the opposite way quick. And then we'll do it again. Scoop that tailbone first, very, very slowly, lifting those hips. Peeling the spine slowly up off of the floor. Good. Reaching the top. Snuggling those shoulder blades underneath. And this time, interlace your hands the awkward way. Lift those hips up towards the ceiling. Good. And then spread the shoulder blades out. Rolling that spine down. One vertebra at a time. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug here. Good. Might feel good just to give yourself a nice little shake. Shake out those legs. Shake everything out. And then you can extend the legs out. Let the arms open out. Palms face the ceiling. Shavasana. And if you'd like to take a nice long Shavasana here, you can reach over and just pause the video and just stay as long as you like. If not, you can take a big breath in. And then a breath out, releasing this practice. Gently roll yourself over onto one side. Press yourself up to a seated position. Inhale, gather up anything positive you might have cultivated for yourself here today. And then exhale, seal it down and within, knowing you carry it with you everywhere you go. Thank you for joining me for this practice today, guys. Have fun creating out there. Namaste.